Hello and welcome to the Handicapable Black Woman Throne Room. My view of humanity is a whole new tea. Oh, I think this video by this YouTube channel you have to follow. So yeah, press the link, follow her. She's amazing. But yeah, get a snack, get something to sip on because I'm going to be spilling some tea, some like river of racism, story time mixture with politics tea. So, because yeah, it's like they're trying to take away DEI, they're trying to interfere within the black life while also restricting black people from the experience of the entire country because now they're trying to create whites only towns. But I'm not bothered about that part. I'm more bothered by land of the free. Yeah. Land of the this whole yeah, yeah. And I'm not saying we should be allowed to go into people's houses and on private lands and everything like that, but look at what they're doing. We're about to have new sundown because we already have sundown towns. Yeah, legal or not, we still have sundown towns. I have been in cities that felt like sundown towns to the point where white people were crying because they were scared for my life, kind of sundown towns. But yeah, yeah. So if you watched, well, first, watch the video. Yeah, it's like, if you don't come back, hey, but you know what? Watch it first because you're going to see how sometimes we have to step up for each other. And like, I am so happy this young lady had her family members on point. They were like, "Where you at? Let's go. Who did it?" They didn't even like no other question. They were just like, "No, who did it?" And she was just like, "Him over there." It's like this, like when you're when your family is together enough and you have such a strong bond to the point where hey, snitching is good because like some people are like, "Oh, well, black people don't tell the police because we don't feel safe. We don't feel secure." Like, I mean, I've told you guys, go back to like I tell the story times about when police pull me over and they call me the N word, and or they fondle me, or it's like they follow me for 15 minutes. They on the expressway and then off the expressway and on the streets, every turn to my house. And then they don't they don't leave me alone because I didn't do anything wrong for that entire time. And then they make up a reason because they didn't know that I went to the oil change place, and I know what they're saying are lies. And the next morning, when I told a family member, they went out and verified there was nothing wrong with my car. But then the police officer, with his no good, racist, bigoted, stupid, ignorant, poorly educated mind, said that I don't look like I lived there. And then for over 15, 20 minutes, quizzing me. Why did you come here? Where did you come from? Why are you here? It's like, why did you come here so late? What made you come here? It's like, and just how long have you lived here? And just, yeah, because even how long have I lived at this place? When did I move here? And like, why did I decide? Like, just so many, like, quite, like, you don't ask this, and this is none of your business. But then the 4 or 5 times you tell me I don't look like I live there. And then I guess he's upset because with my license, the license matched the address, registration matched the address, proof of insurance matched the like he was asking for anything. Like, I mean, yeah, normally you ask for all of that information, but like he was looking at each one and he even said, "Oh, they all match. The address matches all of them." That came out of this no good racist cop's head, out of his mind, out of his mouth. That's what he said. And so when you can have family that comes together, and because yeah, some people ask, why do black people not snitch, or why do they not tell the police and everything like that? Because we don't feel safe. It's like, but at the same time, if we do have family members, some may not believe, some will believe, but then We have to make sure that either we come together, because yeah, oh yeah, more than one family member stepped up at that place, because I was just like, dang, you brought Ruru, Ray Ray, and you brought everybody. I love it. But it's like with some places, you have to know where you're going. You have to know who you step into. Because there's some corporations, they'll call the police and try to get you arrested, even though you were the one that was mentally harmed, even though you were the one that was bullied and tormented. And some people are like, oh, well, words don't hurt. Shut up. Okay. Because, yeah, you're talking to somebody who all my life I've been through mental ABUSC. I've been through it. I've been called the R word and cripple and the B word and the C, like, and stupid and dumb. So, and even when I was teaching in the college classes, when I'm the professor, they're calling me Professor Cripple. But it's like, I just have to take deep breaths, keep going. And I mean, it didn't hurt, but at the same time, I was so disappointed at how far students would go to try, like, be, because they were so lazy and determined not to do anything. But then they would say that they deserved a grade just for being there, but they didn't do the work, or they didn't do anything of value, or they literally fell asleep, or they answered their phone in class, but then they didn't get the grade they wanted, to the point where I had one student. Oh, I was going to wait another year for this one, but I had one student who did call her family to come and jump me because she didn't do the work. She did not deserve a. Mm, she deserved a grade, all right, but she didn't deserve the grade she wanted. Yeah, she didn't deserve the grade she wanted. It's like literally, she would answer her phone in the middle of class and talk to them in class, and I would ask her, "Can you please go to the hall with that?" It's like, okay, since you're not doing anything and you don't participate and you don't follow along with any of the lessons and you roll your eyes, and students have told me you called them out their name and stuff. And so then when I ask you about that and tell you, can you please have some manners and stuff, then you tell me to shut the crap up or whatever. But I try not to kick you out, because I'm like, okay, maybe because since she skipped the first 2 or 3 weeks in the classroom, I'm like, okay, maybe since she doesn't feel like she belongs or something. I have no idea. But then this girl, who she called her mother, her daddy, and her cousin to come and jump me. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But then she tried to claim that I had favorites. I'm like, favorite? You do none of the work. And when I told you to get off the phone when you were talking to your cousin or your brother, you told me to shut the blank up in class, in front of like everybody in that classroom. There it was like, I think about 8 or 9 students were in the classroom at the time, so I had like 8 or 9 witnesses. So even if she tried to call me a liar, I'd be like, here's a list of all of my students' phone numbers. Call them. It's like each one, because I remember when one of the students changed their seat just to sit closer to me, because they were like, in case she tried to attack me, they could be near. And then when she called the family members, my two of my students stayed, because they knew, like, because at first, like, we didn't know what she was doing, but then when it got close to time, I guess she knew how long it took them. Then she told us, yeah, she called them to come jump me, and for me to give her, like, okay, you're gonna jump me, and then you're gonna think I'm gonna give you a good grade for them jump, like, are you what? So I do understand the need for calling up your family members when something bad happens, but when you have done the bad, so yeah. But it's like kind of an off tangent, but at the same time, I'm happy that her family. She got her family like just like that, like literally, because I mean this was at night, so like she just called, like they were, and they all came too, and we needed the police. Yeah. And it got to the point where all of them have a restraining order. All of them, I think, for another 2 or 3 years. Yeah. But yeah, this family stood together. So it's like I said, this young lady was as lazy and as despicable and awful, and like, because she followed no directions, none. But okay, I'm gonna get off like onto the next my next point. But part of me just feels like if you have a family like that, or like the one in the video, I congratulate you. But I just say, yeah, well, yeah, in some situations you're just gonna have to double check, or I don't know, part of me is just like, yeah, just make sure you know the whole story, because yeah, it's like, I don't. Yeah, because now some people are gonna say I don't, like, I believe, like, no, because the reason why I'm doing this video, because I believe her, because I've been on the, like I said, with the police officer, I've been in that situation where I get called the N-word by the people who are supposed to protect me. I've been harmed mentally, and well, the fondling was physical, by the people who are supposed to protect me. So it's like I had played times where the people who I'm supposed to call on are the people that are harming me. And that's why families stick together to the point where when you call them, they're like, where, who, when, okay, like, send me the address. And so even if they got to get an Uber, they don't care. So, but I've also been in situations where, like, even with my ex, Mr. No Heart, when he told me that one Martin Luther King Jr. Day about when the lady who comes around to different businesses and sells breakfast sandwiches and things, and she was just like, yeah, we need to eliminate more of these N words so that we can have every day off. I mean, she should celebrate that they got Juneteenth off, but she probably won't. And you didn't have to eliminate anybody for that. But yeah, she literally said in front of him, to his face, said this to him. But I know he's a no good man, because he it's like when I asked him what, because yeah, I tell the whole story in another episode. But yeah, did he have my back? No. It's like, did he defend black people? No. And this is one reason why sometimes when he would say some racist jokes, but then he would say, I can't be racist, I'm dating you. And it's like, memories like that come in my mind, like, okay, no, 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 no. It's like, whenever racism comes about towards me, you don't defend me. When your mother says the only reason I got into college is because I'm black, the only reason that I got my professor job is because I'm black, the only reason I get like some like different opportunities and things like that is because I'm black, and then you nod and smile, or you say, well, I have to give her a point because black people many times don't deserve what they get, and I'm just, even though he's the one that dropped out of college, he decided to do, or even quit, like, opportunities, he decided to quit, or he was lazy, or he gave up. But it's like, I'm the one working and doing the research and taking the classes and things like that. But it's like, but they still want to say I only get things because I'm black, even though I was the one, especially when he begged me to start a business with him. I did 90% of the, well, I'll say 80% of the work. But then he is the one that told me to quit and stop, because like, the 20% that he did was crucial. And without that 20%, it's like, I wanted to do it, but then he, like, it's at his house and I can't pick that, like, yeah. And so right now I'm saving money so I can get it. But it's like, I'm at risk. So like, years have passed. I don't know if he damaged it, ruined it, because he's a heartless person. He told me he loves messing up people's lives. He told me this like in year 2. He kind of joked, like, I thought it was a joke year 1, but then year 2, when he said it again, I was just like, you're kidding, right? I was like, because he was saying this, like, why, like, watching or playing video games. So I thought he was just talking about the game. But no, he wasn't playing at all. It's like, it wasn't the game, it was real life. He loves making other people's lives miserable. And I just went on a date with a guy who loves doing, like, Mark. Oh my gosh. He's a security guard, but yeah, he loves doing the same thing. He fails at it. He doesn't do a good job at it. But yeah, he tries doing the same thing. And part of me is just like, you guys wonder why you're lonely. You guys wonder why you're single. You guys wonder, oh my gosh, both their wives left them. Oh, okay. You know what? I can do some comparisons. Even though, yeah, one was 7 years, one was on like 2 months or whatever. But I see a lot of similarities, and both of them are pretty heartless and despicable and awful, and they both love bomb. Yeah, yeah. Okay, okay. But in summary, yeah, Mr. No Heart, he had no sympathy or empathy for the African American community. He would brag that he never had to study African American history, that he never had to celebrate African American month. And but so then when his daughter, his oldest daughter, because his youngest daughter, anyway, his oldest daughter, she would have projects and she would want to talk about it, and she would have questions about African American history. So then I would tell her, teach her, and then sometimes when he was taking a break from his video games, he would like kind of look at me like, when did that happen? That's not true. And I'm like, you never studied it. So how would you even know what's true or not? And so then I would pull up videos and or articles. And then he's like, oh, I didn't know that. Huh. Okay. Why didn't they teach that in schools? And I'm like, okay, you're too busy celebrating that you didn't have to learn it. So now all of a sudden you want to know why they didn't teach it to you. So yeah, there were times where I was just like, yeah, this boy needs to just be quiet. You know. But this is the reason why, like, Republicans are trying to shut it down because they're calling it DEI, or they're trying to call it reverse racism. But with those examples altogether, it shows why, with colleges and with organizations and work, why sometimes we have the black associations and the black like portions of things, because we need our safe space. Because like with that young lady at her job, that that stupid idiot bigot called her the N word. She needs a safe space, because at some jobs and some universities, some people are gonna call you that, and then you need somewhere to go. You need someone to talk to. You need your safe space. You need people who understand and empathize. Because and some people are like, well, yeah, there's all different types of people who are like, there's some people who pretend, and there's some people who won't say it to your face. And there's some people who, when they hear you being ridiculed and having a racial slur told against you, they're just going to watch. They're not going to defend. They're not going to help you. They're just going to watch. And so, and we don't know who those people are. And so if there are safe spaces for the African American community where we can come together and we can feel like, okay, we understand each other. We know the hurt and the pain and the struggle that each other has to go through, and we can give recommendations and tips and things to each other, especially the aunties and the uncles. It's like sometimes they can pass the batons and be like, okay, this is how you can make the next, like, I'm about to either retire or graduate or whatever like that. They're like, okay, this is what I had to do to make it. Here's some tips for you. Because, and I say this because I've even had points with my ex where he was like, why do black people always want to come together and they're different, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, for one, white people do that all the time. Two, it's like, you've been, look at Lake City. Come on now. Come on now. Your city feels like a sundown town, and you're trying to ask me, anyway, and then it's like I've seen a few Confederate flags with MAGA flags with the orange guys flags up and everything like that. But you have the nerve to try to ask me, mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So yeah, when people try to say reverse racism, I laugh because they don't understand, especially within history. We had to build our own schools. We had to build and create our own organizations because we weren't allowed in the original ones. And then, even when we were allowed to, they still didn't want us. Okay. So then we still were not safe. We still were not secure. So it's like sometimes we had to create a piece of unity within that organization, because if we're still like, even though we're allowed to go doesn't mean we're accepted. And so with the colleges and universities, it's like, yeah, we're allowed to, but some people don't want us there. And well, being called the N word, huh? I have so many stories and examples, which I've already said some of them, but there was one time, even in high school, in my history class, I was like the only black girl. Oh, my terrible, awful, stupid bully. Oh my God. Like my junior year, I was so happy because he was a senior. He was a senior when I was a junior, right? I was so happy. And he's a black guy or whatever, but like, I told the story, but this is the bully that, like, once he knew my schedule and where I was, like, and where my next class would be, he would hide behind like hallways, and he would, like, right when I'm about to go by, he would kick his foot out immediately, so I would trip and fall on the ground. But then I would tell the stupid, ignorant, racist, stupid, poorly educated teachers, and they would say, "Oh, he likes you. He wants to be with you. Oh, it's like that's puberty. Oh," and so, no, it's abuse, you stupid idiot. But especially my Spanish teacher. Okay, yeah, you know what? I'm not gonna say your name. I'm not gonna say, but to my Spanish teacher, I can't stand you. You are a terrible, awful, inhumane person. It's like, because he did it the most when I was going to that class. And also, she would always compare me to my perfect sister. Yes, I have a twin sister, and she gets mostly, straight A's. She was she's brilliant, she's smart, amazing, and everything. So yeah, I'm not downgrading her at all. I, you know what? I can't blame people for loving her, but at the same time, like the Spanish teacher would always compare me to her and tell me that I must not be trying, because since my twin sister is really smart, I'm supposed to be smart too, that I must be lazy. And then even with that bully that I mentioned, is like she would just tell me, "Well, he must think you're pretty. Well, you need to talk to him then. He must like you." And she would just kind of laugh and just shrug it off. And especially the time when I tripped and fell, but then my head hit something pretty hard, and I had a red gash on my cheek. And she was watching outside the classroom, and her response was, "Oh, you still didn't talk to him." And I'm in pain, and I'm like, "Can I go to the bathroom?" And she was like, "Well, you're not bleeding, you're fine." And she was like, "Come in the classroom before the bell rings." Oh, I can't stand that woman. And one reason why is like, there's some people that I went to high school with who, "Oh, I love her. She's amazing. She's so wonderful." Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. Yeah. But with this same bully, I had hit my last class of the day with him. He would normally skip because, oh, yeah. Yeah, my junior year, I was so happy. But then he failed. He had to be there at least a fifth year. I don't He wasn't at my graduation either, so I'm kind of wondering what happened. You know what? Yeah, I've been really wondering what happened with him. But you know what? He helped me with, like, especially when I create my villains and things like that. Sometimes I'm like, you know what? Let me think of how stupid and idiotic he is. Yeah, okay. I can be like, okay, I can write this villain now. But yeah, he was in that class, whatever, but he always skipped or whatever. But I would be in the history class, whatever. Like I said, it's like we were the only black students. So since he would almost always skip. And okay, when I say almost, like, I think he was there like 5 to 10% of the school year at that class. But and I'm giving him credit because I'm like, I don't even think he was there that often. But I remember we were doing something with African American history, and out of all movies, out of all movies. Well, it was Rosewood, and oh my gosh, it's like them playing that movie with those students. Oh, because I'm not saying I went to a school that was just so racist, but there was a lot of ignorance, and especially with the percentage of whites and like black and then people of color who, like, I don't know, is I'm gonna do the story time soon where I don't have any of the evidence. This is back during COVID, before, like, I wanted to start a YouTube channel, but I was still too nervous and scared, and especially after the trauma that my mom put me through and her threatening to kick me out of the house if I started a YouTube channel and stuff. So I don't have the proof or evidence of it, but I do remember how, like with DEI and like a lot of the talk about history and how it's taught and how it needs to be taught correctly, and more issues when it comes to African American history, and like even how the history of Asians coming into America and even the trauma they went through and stuff like that in each demographic. And there was one girl that I went to high school with, or one woman, whatever. And it's like, oh, she was like, so you're telling me that you know different history from me? Are you telling me that you've learned more about African American history than I do? And I'm like, white woman, yes. And so it got to a point where I had to block her. But then she went and, like, kind of like with what happened with this family, this young lady at the restaurant, she went and got her friends. And not like, this is a white woman. This white woman got like one black and one Asian, or I think it was a person of color, friend, to then come on my Facebook and attack me and tell me that I'm just desperate for attention and I'm making up stuff, and that everybody learns the same history, and how I'm stupid, or I must be desperate for attention. And they were just saying all this stuff. And so I'm like, okay. So then I start typing some history. Okay, do you know this? And do you know that? Oh, now you're just making up stuff. Oh, now you're just exaggerating. Oh, where did this come out? I'm like, okay, I'm proving my point. It's like I proved my point. But then, and so then I blocked them, but then they went and got, like, this lasted for almost a week and a half to 2 weeks, where every time I blocked the next people from harassing me, from like like from her hatred, she kept telling other people to come and write me. And I'm just like, how despicable and lonely are you? Because you're just proving my point even more. But at least I know when she calls a friend, they will be there just like that. This time they didn't need a Uber. They needed was a cell phone or a laptop or whatever. But they went, this, like, she snitched and they came running. She snitched and they came calling me out of my name, calling me stupid and everything like that, just to try to dehumanize me and everything like that, because of their ignorance and stuff like that. So sometimes there's great efforts from it, and sometimes it's, oh yeah. And so I think that's the difference with what's going on within, like, the Democratic Party is the example of what's going on at that restaurant. MAGA, it's what's going on with what happened to me with that college student, and then with what happened to me with that idiotic person that I went to high school with. I think she was a grade above me. One or two grades above me, she was. But anyway, this is the Handicapable Black Woman Throne Room. I am a woman, I am of color, and I am handicapable. But most importantly, I am human, and you're human too.